to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Schmidt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Webb.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Webb.
Hello. What's up, Smith?
What's up, Webb? I'm Smith, that's Webb, and we are the Wager Makers. Thank you all for joining us. It's been a little bit. Got a couple vacations. Webb's got the softball, soccer, kids sports all day, every day, day and night. Next thing you know, Webb, we're 2 days away from the first preseason football game of the NFL season. Unbelievable.
Next thing you know, yeah, it's unbelievable. This even snuck up on me. I'm like, wait, what? And then, I saw something that Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne aren't playing. So I guess this is obviously the Hall of Fame game. Who's getting in the Hall of Fame? Are you going to cry?
I like the speeches in the Hall of Fame, but I don't even know who the group is this year.
Yeah,
to be honest, I didn't even look. Let's see. NFL Hall of Fame.
And they're playing Las Vegas. I always thought it was an advantage playing this game, just an extra game and an extra time in pads. And the Cowboys played in it last year, but you saw what happened there. So,
okay, so the 2022 bunch is Tony Baselli, great offensive lineman. He played for the Jags. That's probably what the Jags are playing in it. Cliff Branch, wide receiver for the Raiders. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Right. Safety Leroy Butler. Saints linebacker Sam Mills. Defensive lineman Richard Seymour and Bryant Young. That's an interesting fact about Sam Mills. He's a Montclair State man, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's true. And he's a USFL guy, I think, too, actually.
I got my rowing gear on today. That wasn't rowing back then, but it's Montclair State. Same stuff. So, Webb, I can't believe, I don't even know what we're doing with the numbers, but just to throw it out there, this is episode number 125.
Yeah, man, that's borderline shocking, and then borderline shocking that we're back, but maybe too. So let's get it going. I'm glad.
Let's get it going, people. You're out there. We're back. We're in. It's football season. Look, we ended up the NBA SportsWatchMonitor.com. We ended up
back on that.
The NBA regular season at number 1. We end up the NHL regular season at number 6, and we end up the Major League Baseball. We're in Major League Baseball season right now. We're currently number 7 out of handicappers. I mean, we're rolling. So you want to get in with us right away here into the NFL, to the college football season.
Plenty of time.
Other years we've been like so far down the list of the total. Right now we're sitting at number 20, Reb, for the year. All combined, ready to take football season and pounce. The second half of Major League Baseball season and NFL and college football, and getting ready to pounce and being the number 1 handicapper at SportsWatchMonitor.com this year for the year.
It's coming right on time too. College football, I just pulled it up here, August 27th. So that's I guess a little less than 4 weeks, but there's a slate of games too. It's usually only a couple games. Right. There's a slate of games. And now that's right on time, because some of these lines, we're getting to the point. When you round down to the end of the season, some of the lines, the Yankees are laying 300. So it's just like fuck, But there's always money to be made, Smith.
Right. Some big moves right now in Major League Baseball going on. It's the deadline. We're heading into playoffs. Who's sellers? Who's buyers? All that stuff. Yankees made a couple moves. The Padres made a couple big moves.
I'm rooting for
today,
the Padres.
Picking up
good for them.
Yeah, they do good job.
Juan Soto.
Hey, but it's baseball. We got football this week. Raiders and two new coaches. The Raiders got I'm not a fan. Mr. New England Patriot boy.
Yeah.
What was that? McDaniels?
Josh McDaniels. He coached up the. Didn't he do the Broncos for a year or 2 years?
Yeah, something not effective. One of those guys off the Belichick trade. It didn't work out, and still gets more chance. Again, don't they have anybody else? Don't they have
not only
anybody
that, like the dude Matt Patricia was with the Lions. He got fired. He's back with the Patriots. And then Joe Judge just got fired, I think, last year. Now he's back with the Patriots as well. You want to talk about recycling dudes?
Well, I don't mind. Honestly, I don't mind if people have a history with Belichick, say, and they go out on their own and suck, and Belichick's like, well, yeah, you're my guy. We worked out good before. I don't mind that so much. But how many times are you going to take Josh McDaniels just because he coached under fucking
Belichick? Yeah,
Belichick.
But
and then Go ahead.
Look at Belichick himself. He sucked. Well, he didn't suck. The Browns weren't very good, and it took him his second go around to get going. So maybe there's something to be said for a second. And I think the dude was like, I don't. Was he? Could he possibly been in his 20s when he first?
Yeah, he might have been like a young, super young. But and then actually the Jaguars now in place with Urban Meyer is your guy from Philly, Webb. Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I mean.
At least he's got a Super Bowl. At least he's got a Super Bowl ring from his time,
and I think it works out well. You want to pair him up with Trevor Lawrence, so it does make a ton of sense. At least, I'm rooting for some of those smaller market teams and some of those teams like that. That's why I'm happy the Padres did. Let's have the Padres beat the Dodgers.
Honestly, I felt like Peterson got ran out of town a little early from a guy that won a Super Bowl ring. I think he was married to Wentz a little bit, or not married to Wentz, whatever. Wentz kind of went downhill, and then. Then I thought Peterson was a little bit premature on the fire on that.
I think there was some internal stuff, and I think he kind of took the blame on that. But all these owners are all crazy. Jerry Jones is certifiable. The dude, what's the dude's name? Who's Jim Irsay is in the other day out of rehab, and Laurie and he's crazy. I used to work down in Philly when they were winning, which sucked when they were winning. And he was always saying something wacky and butting his nose in or whatever, someplace where he probably shouldn't have been. So
even the Miami Dolphins owner now is in trouble today. I think he's getting some kind of suspension and big fine, and for reaching out to Tom Brady and Sean Payton in the middle of when you're not allowed to.
What would tampering? What would he he can't operate the team until like October 17th? Do you think he does everything every day? Like he doesn't do anything. He just fucking walks around.
And I think the fine was like 1.5 million. Like he writes that on one of his paychecks to one of his guys. I got to pay this guy one extra 1.5 million. Yeah. We gotta. Yeah.
I saw something today that the Golden State Warriors, I guess I don't know, it's 2021 or I guess it had to be 20 or 20. They made $700 million. Like that's unbelievable. I can't believe that a franchise could generate that much money.
Well, Webb, I saw just since this came up all of a sudden, I saw a list the other day of the highest valued franchises in sport in football. Obviously, Dallas Cowboys number one. Webb. They are in at like it's weird because I just remember it wasn't that long ago that I just remember like $1 billion being thrown out there as like, oh my God, some team is worth $1 billion. Yeah. Like hitting such a benchmark that, oh my God, an NFL franchise or whatever is worth them. The Dallas Cowboys right now are worth $7.64 billion. Number one.
Yeah. I mean, how is that even a number? But the stadium and it's all, worth is not, lucrative or whatever. That's not.
Well,
cash on hand.
It's not liquid.
Right.
They're worth, but the dudes like. When you got an asset of that much, you can do whatever. I mean, absolutely. I forget what Tom Benson bought the Saints at, but it was I don't know if it was even in millions. And now now they're worth $3-point-something billion. It's unbelievable. So I don't remember the number that Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys at.
That's a good question.
But it wasn't $1 billion.
No,
and
it was not. No,
so now he has 7 of those billions. When he decides to settle down or whatever.
He just turned 80 years old, so I don't know what he's waiting for. I don't know why he's always saving money. I don't know.
Well, he's going for that. He wants a championship. He's
not doing anything. He should. I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm going to go down the Cowboys rabbit hole.
As usual, Webb, the offseason, me and you, we're about the games. We're about things happen on the field. That's why we have a hard time getting these shows going. Sometimes getting fired up for some of the shows in the offseason. Excuse me, I'm battling a little bout of COVID here. Got a little scratchy throat.
You're a trooper.
We're 2 days away. We waited. Now it's 2 days away from a football game.
Right, that's right. Live NFL game.
I gotta play. I'm gonna watch this microphone when I'm done too, but I'm gonna play.
There you go.
All right. So, So obviously a couple big off the field things. The ruling just came down yesterday from the judge Sue L. Robinson. I guess she's almost like a middleman for the NFL. Like whether or not the Watson's gonna appeal, he says no, and NFL has a chance to appeal now.
Think by Thursday morning.
Probably not going to. Watson, 6 games. Webb, what do you think of that?
6 games without pay. I think it's ridiculous. I don't. I mean, if I was one of those people, it's obviously a slap in the face. I mean, we talked about it. Ezekiel Elliott got 6 games, and there was no charges brought whatsoever. It was complete hearsay. I don't know, Kamara. I mean, all these guys. He got paid all of last year, whatever that money was, and then I mean, I don't understand it. She said there was precedence there, but precedents mean you don't have to follow the precedent. That's just what happened before that. You could take that and expand on it. Precedent, it's before that. You could add to the 6 games. You don't have to give it at 6 games. I don't know. And then she threw it the NFL right underneath the bus. I didn't read the exact phrase, but what I saw was a scathing or a blistering indictment of the NFL. And
not only that, but go ahead.
Who's the dude? Calvin Ridley. He's banned.
He got a year for gambling $1,500.
Right. I mean, Tom Brady got 4 games for deflating a football.
Sean Payton sat out a year, Webb.
Right.
For the defensive coordinator telling the team to hit the quarterback hard.
I mean, it's ponderous, Smith. Ponderous. I mean, clearly there's a line drawn. It's between the lines is one thing, and whatever else you do is.
And then you can say, well, sometimes they get hit in the pocketbook, and I'm sure he paid off a lot of people because all the other lawsuits went away. But
yes, but that's irrelevant.
They set up this contract, and so the Browns are involved in this too because they set up this contract, Webb, where the 6 games suspension is going to cost him $350,000.
Right. So
out of his $230 million dollar contract.
The Browns look like geniuses. I mean, obviously now, it's good for. I mean, if you're a Browns fan, you're happy as hell.
We were talking about it all off season long. Well, what are the Browns going to do now? Watson's going to be gone, and now Mayfield's
gone. Right,
is gone. What are they going to do for the quarterback? Yeah. And now he's out 6 games. I would if you put the black eye of the thing aside.
Right. I would have taken
Watson minus 6 games for almost any team.
100%.
Almost any team would take that.
100%. I mean, the $230 million is a different story. I mean, I don't know if I would have done that deal, but I mean, surely if you could have gotten him and said, "Oh, he's only going to, all this after all this backlash, it's only cost you 6 games." I don't know who wouldn't have signed up for that. There's
the Cleveland Browns. What do you got to lose?
Yeah, absolutely. They look like geniuses. I mean, again, the contract aside, they look. They're laughing. They're the in the catbird seat. They swallowed the canary.
So the question is now sometimes. So the NFL, and I've wondered this for a while. If somebody settles out of court, and now look in the United States, you're innocent until proven guilty. All that stuff, totally believe in all that stuff. But there's 24 people came forth at least, I think. And he was sat in front of 2 grand juries, and nobody, and so no charges were actually filed ever against us.
Nothing legal.
So where does the NFL come in? If there's, I've been saying this for a long time. How much can they police something like this? And no charges doesn't mean you're innocent. It just means there's not enough evidence maybe to convict or whatever. But why is the NFL responsible for everything everybody does under off time?
Well, because it's $1 billion corporation, it has a social responsibility or civil responsibility. But every contract that's signed, I mean, anybody has a moral clause in their contract. It's basically some ambiguous shit that says if you end up with some egg on your face or you embarrass the corporation, you embarrass the shield, we could we're going to smack you. So that's kind of what all that stuff came in and all those things that we're talking about here. I mean, I think with the Sean Payton stuff, that was probably some competitive balance, and I think that's what they probably did with the tampering. Obviously, they don't play with that. We just saw today with the Dolphins, they took a 1st-round draft pick. Right. That's huge. I mean, the money's one thing. That's nothing. But that's the thing. I think even actors, and even if you're if you're the CEO of Google or some shit, I'm sure you have some type of moral clause in your contract. Almost any high-profile gig that's got something to lose in terms of the face to the public.
Yeah, but I think those all come down to whether or not you think it's more beneficial or not for you to get rid of the person. So
100%. Oh, absolutely. It's all ambiguous.
So right now they're like, okay, well, let's say you did have this moral clause in your contract, but you're going to help us win games. You're going to help us sell tickets. You're going to help us be a buzz. The Cleveland Browns are more of a buzz right now than they've ever been in since they moved ever.
Even before then. Yeah, of course they want. The bottom line is, the dude can play quarterback. That trumps everything.
Right. So I don't know. There's been times I'm caught in the middle of this a little bit, Webb. So there's just times when I've also said I don't care what the fuck happens off the court or off the field or off the anything. I want the baddest mofos out there on the field. And I get we're in a different time now where there's a social responsibility for these teams. They're in the community. They're doing all that stuff. But I want the best. If I'm paying to watch football players, I want the best football players in the world playing. That's what I want. Short of being in jail. And I don't have to bring my kid there and say, hey, you should try and be like Deshaun Watson.
Well, right. Of course.
But
you should. I mean, Charles Barkley.
You shouldn't do that for any of these guys anyway.
Right. But no matter who it is. Right.
But I want when I want to watch a football game, I want the greatest players in the world playing. That's what I want.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. Like you said, but as long as you don't break any laws, that's kind of where it's. I mean, you want them to step on, wake up Sunday morning and go between the lines and be some animal cracking heads, and then come whatever 4:05.
Right.
All of a sudden, dude is peaceful, and all of a sudden that stops. You flip a switch and then you shut it off. So that's obviously very difficult to do. I hear you, but again, you still don't have to be forcing women to do shit or whatever.
No doubt. I mean, I'm just taking another side here of the coin here and just seeing. But there's part of me that just was saying I just want the best players out there. And if the law doesn't think the guy should be arrested, then
right.
Well,
that's that. I mean, well, not only that. I mean, what happens if he was guilty and let's say he went to jail and he got out of jail and he could still play quarterback?
Well, if you get out of jail, you did your time, you did your whatever.
Correct. I agree.
I'm down with that. I'm down with that as general rule for anything.
Right.
If you do your time, you do your time.
Right. Agreed. I agree.
But and then at the same time, these women, I guess I'm sure they took money, right? I mean, they have the personal court cases to do with all of these things.
I think they settled all of them.
Right.
The Texans, somebody paid him. Maybe the Browns or the Texans or him too, whatever.
Right. I was reading some of it because I never really was quite sure about what some of the shit that he did. I was like, did he just ask them to have sex with them? Did he ask them to do stuff? But I guess apparently he was walking around naked, hitting them with his junk and doing stuff. And even one girl said like kind of ejaculated on him, like just that is like, all right, well that's
and it's pretty persistent, right? I mean, it's
right.
Once you can ask and then whatever, as long as if it's
I don't know what the rules are these days, but I know you can't do that. But I know you can't do that.
Right. I'm pretty sure he was more than in the gray area.
Right. So anyway, 6 games. We're not lawyers here. 6 games. I'm be interested to see what Kamara gets for his buddies beating up some guy in Las Vegas and some of these other things because Goodell walks around like he's Mr. Tough Shit on everything, but he's a hypocrite mofo.
Oh, no doubt. But here's the thing. This is the first year that he's not the judge and jury. That in the CBA, they have this third party. That's where this ex-federal judge, and that's the NFL's out. That's how they could say, well,
right.
The NFL, the Players Association didn't really want me being this, and I'm sure he didn't like it. I mean, it's always a backlash. Right. He never, was never right. He never got it right. The NFL's pretty, but they do a lot. Aside for some bad officiating, they got.
This is actually pretty smart because it takes the pressure off them. It's like, look, we brought it to like the third, the kind of almost like a mediator kind of thing, and they decided.
And a woman.
This right. So speaking of which, now Webb, another one of these off-season deals. We're going international. We're going international with it.
Borders don't stop us. We're
politics, not politics, but international foreign relations.
Yeah.
Brittany Griner in the offseason gets caught at an airport with, I don't know if it was a vial or something that had some weed oil of some kind in it or something like that. And so now she's in a Russian prison. Listen, we don't get along too good with Russia.
Right.
Obviously, she's being used a bit as a political pawn. However, also, she did this thing in Russia, and it's not allowed. And my whole life, I thought that Russia was not necessarily kind to and fair to people that they think are criminals, especially if they're American criminals.
An American woman who's 7 feet tall, androgynous, bunch of tats, dreadlocks. Like you're just giving her any excuse to do this. Now, yeah, I mean, isn't that like word one or lesson one? I'm no international traveler, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to try to smuggle drugs into like, especially like a company, excuse me, a country that was communist, during our lifetime. And then it's not only that, like it almost seems a little, I don't know. Again, I don't want to say anything like not arrogant, but what was she thinking about? Like, and if she's going to pull the medical card, then I was reading that she played in Russia, meant she goes there, I don't know, annually or something to play. You don't know the law. You don't know. If you don't know, then you don't know. Then you leave your shit wherever.
Yeah. Certainly these people, if they're traveling internationally to play in the professional basketball league in Russia, they have some handlers and things that you can certainly ask a question. You can certainly, it's not just say, hey, make sure I have some weed oil waiting for me at the hotel. You can say, hey, is it cool if I bring this thing?
Right.
And like you mentioned one time, we were talking. It's like, listen, I always know where my weed is. And I'll tell you, even if I'm going to an airport or something, Webb, I like check my suitcase, like just because of maybe I forgot something from the last trip or something. I'll look in every pocket. I reach in every pocket of my shit.
Yeah,
to make sure that I don't accidentally have something there that I forgot about from some other trip or something.
100%.
Not that would happen, but
We'll check just to make sure that you don't get jammed up like that. I mean, they made movies about this shit, dudes. It's crazy.
Right. And now, it's turned into a political thing. But at the same time, we got people in the United States that are in jail for like weed and shit that we don't agree with all over the place. Same
conversation just the other day. Absolutely.
Yep. And why is there not an uproar to get them out of jail? And I don't understand. And then I'm tired of they try and make you feel guilty about all this shit, Webb. You know why she's over there, don't you? What? Because she can't make enough money in the WNBA in the United States, Webb.
Get a job. You don't got to play basketball.
You sell insurance.
Come sell billboards. Listen, you can't fuck that.
Who's responsible for that? Well, they don't make enough money as men. Nobody goes to the games, Webb. Nobody watches the games.
Right.
I don't know. I may have heard Brittany Griner's name before this, and it may just have been on so much that I know Taurasi. I know. I watch enough. At some point in every day of my life, I watch some Sports Center, some ESPN.
There's or at least on the app or whatever it is.
I don't really watch WNBA. I respect them as athletes, players, whatever. Do it, whatever. But to act like they don't get, like, people don't watch it. Not even women watch it.
No one.
Women don't even go.
No one.
There's nobody in the stands. There's nobody watching the shit. The men's NBA pays for the whole WNBA.
Right.
And you say they should get paid more. Why?
Like a redheaded
what for?
Right. Generate it. Go ahead. Sign a deal. Do whatever. Get a sponsor.
So you go to Russia. You go to Russia to play and make extra money. Okay.
Right.
You could just get on your off season. You could just get another job in the United States if you want. But if you want to play ball, I'm all for it. But don't cry because you can't, because you didn't adhere to their laws. It's Russia. And then you're like, some people are the first ones to bash the U.S. for every fucking thing.
Right.
U.S. is used to give, if you cry enough in the U.S., sometimes you get your way.
Right.
Russia,
right.
I'm not really feeling that.
They don't even hear it. They shut the door. They don't hear it. And not only
that. Go ahead.
No, go.
And now, the part of the deal is we're going to trade her.
Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Webb, for a guy called the Merchant of Death.
Yeah.
The Merchant of Death is the guy that they wrote a movie about him that Nicolas Cage was in or something about selling arms and war and every fucking thing else. And we're going to give this guy back to Russia for Brittany Griner. I'm sorry.
Right.
No trade.
Right.
No trade.
Right.
No trade.
That's a little lopsided. Yeah. That's a little lopsided.
And then they got the nerve to say, well, if this was a dude, it's the same old shit. If this was a dude, if this was LeBron, they would have him out of there. No, it would be worse. Right. We would have to give up. He would be a bigger playing chip in this whole situation. Right. We would have to give up a whole army.
Something else. Right.
We would have to give a whole army of the Merchant of Deaths to get LeBron out.
Yep. LeBron would have. He would have had it, like you said. We handle it. It's a silly. That's a silly slippery slope. It's silly. Right.
I
And
just
now
don't. Go ahead.
she had to have her, ounce of whatever, or a couple ounces. And now, like you said, now we got to give back a notorious, like a dude known for like smuggling, not just guns, like atomic weapons and shit, like tanks.
Right.
You know,
Weapons
the merchant of death.
mass destruction.
Right. Maybe not nuclear, but like, anti-aircraft and shit.
And it's always the same thing. It's we're not helping her because it's a woman. We're not helping her because it's a LGBTQ woman. It's not a woman of color. No, it's just not. It's your fault.
Right. How about
it's
you?
Your
fucking
fucking fault.
Second criminal.
I mean, I like you are caught up in a bad situation now.
No
but
doubt.
you would got to know as an American going to Russia that if you do the wrong thing, they're gonna use you for it. I mean, that's a given.
Right. You gave them the opportunity.
The fact that we're still seeing you on TV and that you're communicating with your significant other and other people, like that's more than I even give Russia credit for.
Right. They didn't put you in
I watched you walking into a courtroom in Russia. I didn't even know I had those. I just thought they take you to the Gulag or Siberia or something.
Ship your ass to Siberia, and that's it.
Right. You're lucky you're not fighting in Ukraine or something. I don't know. I don't know what they do in Russia. That's why I don't do stuff like that.
In the Russian army, right? No doubt.
And it's our fault that you don't make enough money playing NBA. You play basketball for a living.
Right. And then not only that,
like 200,000 is not enough.
Right. Go to another country and play. So you could travel internationally and get paid to play basketball in another country.
Treated like a superstar everywhere you go.
Right.
Except if you got weed at the airport at Russia.
Yep.
Right. So I don't know. I mean, I just don't know why. And I don't know why we get blamed for this shit sometimes, but or they make you. I don't know. It seems like they try and make you feel guilty about shit sometimes. I don't know.
Right. And like, what?
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I feel bad. I feel like you should be out. It's weed, but I feel like there's thousands of people in the United States that should be out about some minimal amount of weed.
Yeah, non-violent drug offense. How many people are in prison? Right, and I couldn't agree more.
Another off season. Webb, I'm a golf fan, and then before you say, oh, you don't like women's sports, because no, I love women's golf. I watch women's golf. Nelly Korda is my favorite golfer.
I do. I can vouch for you. Yes, you do.
She's my favorite golfer.
Yes.
Anyway, this LIV golf league, Webb, is now when we talked about it, I think on our last show, was just a flash in the pan almost at that point. Mm-hmm. It seemed like people were just starting to talk about it. But I've got definite feelings about it now than I didn't before. I love golf. I love PGA golf. But
what's the difference?
I don't understand. There's no difference, Webb.
Right.
There's no difference. Right. And all years, people have come from all over the world and other tours to play on the PGA Tour because it was the most lucrative. Japanese players come and play. Right. Chinese players come and play. South African.
Isn't John Rahm Spanish and all these other English dudes?
Sergio Garcia and John Rahm's from Spain. Guys from England. Guys from Ireland. Come from all over the world to play on the PGA Tour. Why? Because they pay the most money.
Right.
So now this other league comes out. And look, it's backed by Saudi Arabia, but this is just being used as their only thing the PGA Tour has to say so.
Any type of backlash, right?
The United States does business with Saudi Arabia every day.
Absolutely.
The president, Joe Biden, was just in Saudi Arabia the other day
100%.
making business deals, Webb.
Where we get our oil from.
The PGA Tour, a vast majority of their sponsors do business also in Saudi Arabia. And everything's cool. But now, because these numbers are how can you possibly get on a dude for going here and showing up and getting paid? The numbers aren't even close. They're not even close. The PGA Tour stuff.
Why? I mean, how can you blame it? It's like saying if someone else, I work for a company and then another company said, hey, man, I don't think we don't treat it. We're going to give you, I'm going to double your salary and then we're going to give you some other perks. We're going to take less on our end. Everything is else, you're going to do the same thing, kind of the same job, How about that?
Okay. Not even double, Webb. Not even double. These guys are making like instead of fighting it out every week and where you got to make the cut and do all. And look, even the best of the best, there's times when they don't finish in the top 10 or whatever.
Yeah,
but now they get guaranteed damn money. They offered just to give you an idea of the money they're throwing around. I think Phil Mickelson is making like $300 million.
Yep.
To go to this thing, guaranteed over the next few years. Dustin Johnson like $200 million. They offered Tiger Woods. There's quotes between $700 and $800 million
today. Yep.
To Tiger Woods, and he turned it down. But I mean, Tiger's at the point he's not playing shit anyway.
No, right.
But he's got no reason to tarnish. If there's any chance of tarnishing your image,
right. He's still
as if Tiger hasn't tarnished his image enough on his own.
He literally drove, into a brick wall more than once, and he's still almost beloved. People still watch him. He just, he's got enough money. He's got his 9 lives. I understand why he wouldn't do it.
Right. So yeah, right. He's in the legacy of the Arnold Palmers and all those of the world. Why would he screw that up at this point when he's still making? He still makes like $100 million dollars a year just on everything he's got going on.
It ain't broke, right? I mean, he ain't hurting for cash.
Right. So I don't know, but anyway, what else? That's my feelings now of the LIV. Early on, I don't like it as a fan because it's kind of breaking up the tour. It would be like if all of a sudden the NFL talent got diluted into another league, but eventually this is all going to come to a head and all the best players are going to play in the best tournaments no matter what. But right now it's kind of diluting. Like this guy, Tony Finau, good golfer, up and coming golfer, very good golfer, up and coming golfer, but he won 2 weeks in a row now on the tour when he'd only won like once or twice. He was in the middle of diluting. It's diluting what's going on a little bit from that.
But I mean, let's say, when's the next LIV tournament, or what is it? That not now or what?
No, they had one last week. They had one actually in New Jersey at the Trump Bedminster.
So would you watch that, right?
Well, no, I didn't yet because it's not on regular TV. So I just found this out the other day. They're showing it on Facebook Live so far, and they're showing it on their YouTube. They have a YouTube channel, so they're doing it all themselves.
But if it was on TV, you would watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think at this point, even their product is a little diluted too. So,
they're still figured out.
You got half and half of the best
top
players.
Heavy. Yeah, but it's probably real top heavy.
So anyway, I don't know why people are bashing. That's all I'm saying. People do. The U.S. does business with Saudi Arabia every day.
Absolutely. Yep.
I mean, I don't know.
Amatrix is that airline. I'm sure that's a huge sponsor for the PGA.
All of them. They got so many over there that I saw something like how many billions of dollars that sponsors of the PGA Tour also do in Saudi Arabia. I saw yesterday or something. They had I saw a big interview with Greg Norman, who's kind of been the catalyst of this whole thing.
Shark.
Yeah, the Shark. I hate him anyway, but I don't.
And he's what? He's Australian anyway, right? Or something.
Australian, I believe. Yes. Yeah. Known for one of the biggest collapses in Masters history. When my boy, I think you were in New Orleans the night that I met. The hell's the guy that beat him? And I got a picture of him. I fucking forget it right now. He's on the Golf Channel every week. But I'll remember it as soon as it's over.
Right.
But anyway,
Watson?
No.
Watson? No.
Nick Faldo.
All right. The other thing that I saw, our boy Dirk Diggler. What's going on with him? I saw something. He's like hippied out now.
Well, he's been living on a bus. It's a jail bus, like an inmate bus, but it's all tricked out. It's all tricked out. And he's been taking it to different workout facilities and stuff like that. But now that his camp's over, he wants to sell it. I think he's selling it for $25,000, man. That would be cool as hell. That's our boy. We could deck it out with wager maker shit.
Hell yeah. That's a thought. All right,
that could be our vehicle. We can go fund it. When we're doing this, we go stadium to stadium. That's right. Live shows.
Like Madden bus, man.
Like the Madden bus, but on an tricked out inmate bus. Yeah. Minshew, I'm sure he's got it hooked up real good.
I bet. He's on the Eagles still, I think.
Philly. That's a good team for him, man. Because Jalen Hurts is good. He's going to be the guy, but man, NFL dudes go down all the time, and he put a little good showing towards the end of last season. Remember?
Yeah, a couple times. I'm a Minshew. That's our boy right there.
Whenever Dirk Diggler got a chance to get in any game, he's done good. He did good for the Jags.
Yep. No doubt.
So I want to send a quick thanks out to Doug Walsh's daughter Lily. She was seen wearing the Wager Maker gear. That's quickly a reminder. Lily, thank you very much. You look great in the Wager Maker gear. Just like Webb's got a t-shirt on there, the gold with the blue. That's one of the old school ones right now. But yep, and nice hat. Can't see that too good.
Yeah.
But I think she worked at even the chiropractor was like, "Hey, would you know of these guys?" Something like that. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a wise tailor. Doug asked me how many followers we had. I said we got 10 million and one chiropractor.
Yeah, right. That's right. That's right. Scott Wheatley and a chiropractor in Morris County, New Jersey.
Yep. That'll bring us up to. Look, we're getting ready for our contest again. Buffalo Grill in Little Rock reached out to us. Let us know we got $500 going towards one of our pools. We'll figure it out in the next couple of weeks what we're going to be doing. Usually Survivor and college pick'em.
Yep, definitely.
We'll go from there. I don't know if Scott wants to do the fantasy football league again too. He's welcome to do that if he wants to do that again. Big news. Well, we're going to the Florida State, Miami. The boys getting ready to talk about it. I know we're going. Big news in Miami Hurricane Land. I know you're going to be happy about this. I know you're going to be happy about this. No more. The new coach comes out and says, listen, no more of this turnover chain bullshit. It's not part of our fucking culture.
That's right. And he's right. Mario Cristobal. He was on Miami back in the day, too, when shit was crazy down there.
Yep. I can't say this enough. Give a man a high five.
That's it.
He got a turnover. Play. Give him a high five.
Right.
You don't have to sit there with the pimp chain and the pimp hat and do all that.
Coat. Right.
It's all about me. So just everybody get together. Be pumped up.
Score touchdown. Right.
Damn, man.
That's
shit.
crazy.
The turnover shit.
Me.
That's like I seen. Dudes got the guitars. They got axes. Everything. Everybody's got to turn over something now. I think this guy's listen. We ain't doing that bullshit.
Right. That's minor. That's Bush League. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely.
I love that.
Him. I'm Miami. I'm rooting for Miami now. They got a good quarterback too. So I didn't know they were playing Florida State when you guys were going down there.
Oh, we're going to Florida State at Miami.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. Not when you guys. When we go. When we go.
Right.
All right. Jeff Plasinski beat me in golf last week, so I gotta go. I gotta represent because that shit is not happening again.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Hey, people. I'll be posting our stuff for our clothing again, stuff like that.
Clothing.
Go to our store, buy some stuff that helps us pay for these pools. What else we want to talk about today, Webb? Anything? We covered the.
That's it. We're back. We're going to check us out on.
Let's make a pick. Let's make a pick for Thursday.
Let's do it. Let me see what
under. Got. What's the
Let me see if it's
even though we have two offensive coordinator type coaches on these two teams. I usually like to take teams with new coaches because they want to do something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it means it. Yeah, that's a good point. I think.
You see a number on there?
Hold on. Yeah. Well, it looks like I got a number.
I usually like backup new coaches because they're trying to do something. They're trying to set the tone or whatever
Vegas
it is.
minus 1.5 and 30.5.
30.5. Super low scoring. We got to hope for no big plays, no punt returns, no kick returns.
Nothing, right? No passing, no PI.
All right, I'm saying under. Who you taking in the game?
I'll take the Jags.
Jags and under. All right.
Go with the Jags.
I wonder who their backup quarterback is.
That's a great question. I don't know.
I don't know who Raiders' backup quarterback is either. Last year it was Mariota, but he went somewhere now, right?
Right.
He's in Atlanta, huh?
Starting quarterback in Atlanta.
Yep. All right. So, as usual, I guess that's it. Thank you, John Groh. George Burge. I can't remember them all.
Bill Burr. CJ Beathard.
MN3 Technologies.
Yeah. CJ Beathard probably is going to start that game, I would assume. For the Jaguars. He was
not going to change our pick.
No, it don't matter.
No, we're rolling. It's preseason game 1. We're rolling with it.
Right, exactly.
Under.
And
then right after we stop talking and figure out what our ending game is, Devin's going to tell you about how to do what to do on YouTube.
Yeah, come on, people. This is like year 3 of this shit. Let's finally
listen.
Here. Come on.
We're begging, pleading.
Yes.
We want to keep this thing going, but it's gotta give us a reason to even just, it doesn't take much for us to be like, hey, guess what happened today? This dude bought 5 picks.
Right.
For us to be like, all right, when we going back on the air? That's what we
and we'll fire back. Get us fired up. We'll fire maybe back at you. And and the honest truth is we're winning, certainly in baseball.
Yeah, dude, look at Number one in NBA regular season, number 6 in NHL, and number 7 in NBA.
Yeah.
MLB. Shit.
And it's not like we're betting one game.
Yeah. Thousands. I can show you the numbers. Thousands of games.
That's
All right.
tonight.
If I forgot who to thank you.
Yes.
Everybody who listen, we're back. We're back. We'll be back on every week now.
Yep.
If you got questions, reach out. Help be involved in the show.
Give us some
Ask
topics.
us some
Absolutely.
questions. You want to give us some ideas of what you want us to talk about? Let us know. We really appreciate you. We're having fun with this. We've been off for a little bit. We're ready to go. Take us out, Webb.
Brick by brick, baby. Thanks for everybody for coming back. Like we said, the contests are coming back for football season. Tell a friend. Brick by brick, baby. Thanks.
Cool.
All right, brother.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.